What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, Jasmy's price has fallen a good bit today, leaving a lot of investors wondering what's going on and what we can be expecting next. And so today we're going to be taking a quick look at why this is happening, why I actually don't think that it's a bad thing, and what I'm doing as a result of it. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. And don't forget, my friends, if you do want to trade a little Bitcoin, Solana, SWI, and many more on all the way up to 500x leverage, you can use that BTCC link down below. Guys, if you specifically use my link down there, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all first time deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means if you deposit, say, $4,000, let's just start there, you're going to get a $400 bonus back on the spot to start trading with. So you turn that $400 into $1,000. All that profit that you just made is completely yours, no strings attached. This is literally an opportunity to make free gains during the bull market on a great platform. So if you want to go check that out, again, I will link that down below for you, and I do think that you should definitely go give it a try. Over the last couple of days, what we've been talking about with Jasmy has been the fact that its price made the perfect move to the upside. I mean, about as good as it gets. Of course, we had been tracking what's called the macro Fibonacci zone, right? This golden box right here, and I told you all back here, said if Jasmy's price can break this gold box, we're expecting this bad boy to push all the way up towards that 6-cent level, possibly as high as that 8.5-cent level towards this extension zone. You all know, and especially if you watch the channel for a while, that once a crypto can break the golden box, it can usually reach what's called the extension zone, which is this level up here. And as Jasmy's price started getting closer and closer to it, I was telling you, hey, don't be surprised if we do see Jasmy start trying to pull back or cool down now that we've hit this level. What you have to understand is that when a crypto hits its breakout target, the place it's supposed to go, what are people going to do? They're going to take profits. They're going to sell a little bit. It's what is supposed to happen. And usually that's the reason why when you see a move of this nature, you'll then see it being followed by a back test. And so over the last couple of days, while we have seen Jasmy's price, of course, hit the breakout target and then start pulling back, this hasn't surprised us at all. I told you, look, there's going to be a couple key levels of liquidity, a couple key levels of support that Jasmy's price is going to need to try to bounce off of. And I think that Jasmy's price is going to use this support as it's coming back down to try to find what's considered to be a higher low and then use that higher low to continue upwards. That's what I assume is going to happen here. Now, obviously, I could be wrong. Obviously, Jasmy's price might just go down, 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 and down all the way back under 1.5 cents, the lowest level that it's been in basically the entire year. I just have no reason to believe that's going to happen. That just does not make sense. And so because of that, I'm under the belief that Jasmy is now in what's called a corrective moment in which its price is going to try to find a higher low support and use that support to continue upwards. And so today what we're going to focus in on a little bit more is what's happening as Jasmy is trying to do that, as it's trying to find the support exactly like we thought it would, and what you can be on the lookout for. Now I will warn you, some of the things that we're going to go into are going to be a little bit complicated. So if you are somebody who's just rather new to this crypto space and you're just trying to get better at all this crypto stuff, or maybe you're on the other side of the spectrum, you're an advanced trader or a technical analyst, but you are trying to add more tools to your toolbox, all that I ask specifically from you watching this video is that you just stick around until the end. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on with the Discord server, where we're releasing so much stuff, guys, insights, courses, classes, live streams, workshops, all types of stuff that are it's literally generating our community even on days like today, red days, hundreds of percentages in gains. So if you want to be somebody who is taking your game just to the next level, no matter whether you're beginner or advanced, as I mentioned before, all that I ask from you specifically is that you just stick around until the end of the video. So now that you understand that Jasmy's in a spot to where, of course, I just believe it's simply just pulling back a bit and correcting, let's actually take a look at its progress and the progress that it's making as it is starting to interact with what's called these VPOSs. Now, VPOSs are called viable points of support. And what that means is that as a crypto goes far enough above a support level, or a resistance level, right? We have resistance here, we break above it. If you go far enough away from it, you'll open up what's just called room, right? There'll be room between where we are and that previous point of resistance. And what that allows it to do is that if the crypto does pull back a little bit and start heading back towards that previous point of resistance, it makes it a viable point of support. It makes it a level in which there is so much room that once you reach this level, all of your indicators will have corrected so much and so many of your different bulls will have been able to relax a bit that you'll be in a spot in which people are willing to step in here, and that you will very likely see some of these bulls stepping back in once you get back to that previous point of resistance and try to flip it into support. That's why I'm sure you've heard of a thing called an RS flip, or resistance to support flip, because you can use these support levels as points in which the price can bounce towards the upside, especially if you give yourself enough space. So because of that, what we can see is that Jasmy's price is now interacting with our VPOS number 1, or just our viable point of support number 1. For, let's call it 4.38 cents roughly, should be a level in which Jasmy's price should try to see the bull step in a good bit. What you can see here is that whenever we reached up towards this level, this is where we started going a little bit sideways. Prior to that, way back here, this was also the peak of that move that we saw earlier this year. And so seeing that we had resistance back here and seeing that we had a micro resistance right here, it would be, expected or anticipated that Jasmy would try to find some support here, because any major levels of resistance will automatically be tried to flip into support by the bulls. And what you can see is that as Jasmy's price is now hitting this key level of support, we're getting some very good signs. If we go down to the 1 hour chart, first and foremost, the bulls are stepping in. I mean, obviously they're not stepping in as much as I'd like them to. To be honest, I would like to see that Jasmy's price can push a little bit higher, but they are stepping in. You look at something like your RSI. Your RSI is now sitting at the very bottom of this thing. I mean, it's sitting around that 33 to 30, 38% threshold right here, putting in that double bottom, showing signs that it might try to reverse soon. This means that we're getting towards what's called an overextended period, where you've gone too far to the bottom side and you're more likely to push upwards. I mean, the last time that Jasmy's 1 hour RSI was down here was right here. And let's go see what happened. I mean, yeah, look at that, right? The last time Jasmy's RSI hit this 1 hour level was right here, right before it absolutely took off. And so that doesn't mean, of course, that Jasmy's immediately going to do the same and take off. It just means that we're at a point where we've reset to a very good level in which historically the bulls are willing to step in. Now, if we do look at something like our 4 hour RSI, our 4 hour RSI, more macro RSI, is also showing us some very good signs. The last time that our 4 hour RSI was where it is now, which is the 43% threshold, was way back here. When was that? Right before that push, before that, right before that push, before that, right before that push, right? Every time this 4 hour RSI gets to these levels, we have seen the bull step in historically. And that's what you want to see. What you want to see from a crypto like Jasmy is that as its price does get closer and closer to these VPOSs, remember these viable points of support, that the bulls are being willing to step in and that your indicators are resetting. Because you got to remember, guys, this is the whole point. These things pulling back like this right now, right, going down 25, 30%, that's the point. The point is to get a cool down, to get a reset, to get the pullback, a natural correction. Because natural corrections are what will allow for moves like this to the upside. You need this to get this. And so the fact that we are seeing the bull step in at the levels that they're supposed to means that this is much more likely. Now, does this mean that, of course, Jasmy is going to bounce off of this level? No, it doesn't guarantee that. Although our 4 hour and hourly RSIs are starting to point in that direction to me, what I would go ahead and call out is the daily RSI. The daily RSI is still pretty high. I mean, it's still at the 63% threshold. And so what that means is we could easily still see this bad boy pull even lower. I mean, we could be talking 3 cents. We could be talking 3 cents on the money, which would be still a continued move to the downside of anywhere from 20 to 30%. And although I don't believe that to be the most likely thing, it is possible, and I can see a world where we see that happen. And so the best thing that I'm doing as a result of what I'm starting to recognize is saying, okay, well, we're definitely getting towards the better portion of this macro pullback, in my opinion. I think that we're getting to the better, I guess portion is just the best way to word it, the best portion of this pullback. And that does mean that maybe it's time to do a little bit of purchasing. And so I actually did announce over in the Discord this morning, I did buy a little bit of Jasmy as it's hitting this key level of support, but I didn't go all in with it. I just bought a little bit right here just in case I'm right and it does go up. But say if Jasmy's price does go down, I have every intention to buy once we hit our next VPOS, which is currently at 3.5 cents right here. Okay, at 3.5 cents, I do believe that this would be a major point of support. This is a huge resistance level, so I expect that support would hold, and so I'd be willing to buy even more right here. So the game plan is very simple: buy a little bit right now while it's on support. If I'm right and it goes up, cool. If it's not the moment where the bulls are going to step in and it continues lower, I have every intention of buying more the lower that it gets as we hit each one of these key support levels, because my thought here is that we will see one of them hold, and we will see Jasmy try to go into pursuit of that 7.5 to 8.5 cent level, and all of these purchases will end up in profit. And so because of that, obviously it's just pure speculation. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a random dude with a camera, but this is what my analysis after looking at these charts for years is telling me, and so I wanted to share it with you today. And so although in a moment like this it might be scary, like, oh shoot, Jasmy's down 11%. What am I going to do? This is the end of the world. I think it's a very important moment that you just zoom out a little bit and you look at what's actually happening from a macro perspective, because if I'm right and Jasmy is setting the higher low, this move we're in right now is going to be what sets us up for Jasmy to hit 10 cents and above. So why would you even be stressed about that? Why would you even be mad about that? That's a good thing. If, you got to think about a slingshot, right? You go and you pull a slingshot back. Sure, you're going to have a moment where you're going backwards for a little while, but eventually when you let that thing go, we're going forward. And that's what I'm expecting here from Jasmy. And so you can imagine this is just that slingshot getting pulled back. And eventually I do believe we will see this move upwards. And so that's why I'm personally buying a little bit into this dip and just allowing it to play out. So I don't think there's a need to be stressed out about this right now. I know seeing your position go down isn't fun, but at the end of the day, it's all a part of the game. And during bull markets, 20, 30, 40% corrections happen all the time. So you just got to buckle up, be okay with it. And of course, as we do continue to see Jasmy's price play with these different support levels and get closer and closer to each one of these VPOSs, you guys know I'll keep you as updated as possible, but I need you to make sure that you watch this very first one at 4.3 cents, because this is going to be a very big decision maker of what the next couple days look like. And of course, I'll continue to update you as it does play out. Now, as I mentioned before, if you are somebody who is trying to just get better at this whole crypto thing, all that I want you to do is check out that Discord server down below. Now, in order to access the Discord server, you're going to need to go through Patreon. And guys, it is the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper, either $17 a month or $5 a month. And when you do pay one of those, you're going to get access to things like Insights with Tyler, which comes with my thoughts and insights and guidance about things, just some updates, some of the things that I'm buying and selling here and there, some of the changes I'm making to my portfolio. And feel free to pause at any point and read some of this stuff we post in there. You're going to get daily technical analysis on all of your favorite cryptos. You're going to get daily fundamental analysis on the broad market itself. I've hired 2 teams of professional traders who are giving you their buy and sell signals every single day that they're trading. And remember, these are professional trade teams, meaning that they eat if they trade good. Their livelihood is based on if they trade good, and they're giving you their buy and sell signals for you to learn from and use every single day. Today is the very first day of course, Crypto Vault Live, in which we are going to see Crypto Moses give you a 30-minute exclusive show talking about the market and what's happening. And this will be happening every single day, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. There are premium classes on things like the Fibonacci's, the Bollinger Bands, bull market investing, live workshops with coaches. There's beginners courses on things like leverage trading, on things like technical analysis. Guys, these are 30-minute long courses with 20-page presentations and cheat sheets and vocabulary sheets and all types of stuff to help you take your game to the next level. There's tips with Tyler, in which these are just random little 2 to 3 minute long videos going over just random stuff that you guys ask me a lot of questions about. And then there's community gainers, which is where, of course, their absolutely fantastic community is posting gain after gain after gain. And that's because, guys, we are teaching value. We're giving real value, not this whole BS value you get in other places. Real value. The community is using this value to turn it into lessons and strategies, and using those strategies to implement it into their own investing journey. And that is generating gain after gain after gain. These are hundreds of percentages and gains every single day. So if you want to be somebody who is taking just that next step in this whole world of crypto, it is the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper, and you can get it through the Patreon link down below. So head down there, go check it out, and please don't forget, I post 4, 5, 6, 7 sometimes videos here on the channel every single day. So if you do want to be a part of the journey, all that I ask, just smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and tune into the next video in a few hours because we got a bunch more coming today. So stay tuned for those, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.